Volume 1, Chapter 1, Hadith 576, narrated Abu Uthman. Abdur Rahman bin Abu Bakr said, "The Sufa companions were poor people, and the Prophet said, whoever has food for 2 persons should take a third one from them, Sufa companions, and whosoever has food for 4 persons, he should take 1 or 2 from them. Abu Bakr took 3 men, and the Prophet took 10 of them." Abdur Rahman added, "My father, my mother, and I were there in the house." The stem narrator is in doubt whether Abdur Rahman also said, "my wife and our servant," who was common for both my house and Abu Bakr's house. It's important to note how they allowed the gaps and mentioned this is the part of the narration that they weren't sure about. Abu Bakr took his supper with the Prophet and remained there till the Isha, dusk prayer was offered. Abu Bakr went back and stayed with the Prophet till the Prophet took his meal, and then Abu Bakr returned to his house. After a long portion of the night had passed, Abu Bakr's wife said, "What detained you from your guests, our guest?" He said, "Have you not served them yet?" She said, "They refused to eat until you come. The food was served for them, but they refused." Abdur Rahman added, "I went away and hid myself, being afraid of Abu Bakr, and in the meantime Abu Bakr, called me, 'O Gunthar,' which was a harsh word. He also called me bad names and abused me, and then said to his family, 'Eat, no welcome for you.' Then the supper was served. Abu Bakr took an oath that he would not eat that food." The narrator added, "By Allah, whenever any one of us, myself and the guest of the Sufa companions, took anything from the food, it increased from underneath. We all ate to our fill, and the food was more than it was before its serving." Now, there are 319 or so, there may be more, miracles of Prophet Muhammad that are narrated, and they're all narrated to a stronger extent than the miracles of the Bible. Abu Bakr looked at it, the food, and found it as it was before serving, or even more than that. He addressed his wife, saying, "O the sister of Bene Firaz, what is this?" She said, "O pleasure of my eyes, the food is now 3 times more than it was before." Abu Bakr ate from it and said, "That oath was from Satan," meaning his oath not to eat. And he again took a mouthful from it, and then took the rest of it to the Prophet. So that meat was with the Prophet. There was a treaty between us and some people, and when the period of that treaty had elapsed, the Prophet divided us into 12 groups, the Prophet's companions, each being headed by a man. Allah knows best how many men were under the command of each leader, so all of them, 12 groups of men, ate at that meal. There's other narrations about the 70 appointed towards tax, and that number was kept, and so you have 12 as another number.